Damn. All right. So I'm about to say some real stuff, as I always say. You know, when it comes to the Bible, you have to really understand a lot of things. And one of those things is the Bible is not really meant for women. I'm going to repeat that again. The Bible is not really meant for women. If you actually sit down and read the Bible, Old and New, matter of fact, if you start off reading the Old Testament, you notice God doesn't really talk to women in the Bible. And the reason for this is because the Lord created man in his image. Let me repeat that again. The Lord created man in his image. God is not a woman. This is why you see society when it comes to media or music, they always saying stuff like God is a woman or whatever the case may be. The reason that is to mock God because the Lord, right? He is what you call a man. And there are a few scriptures that indicate and show that he is a man. The things that he do is what you would consider manly things. A woman and a man does not have the same characteristics. This is why God doesn't necessarily talk to women in the Bible. So, just to show you further proof of the stuff that I'm saying to y'all, if we go to Genesis 1 and 27 and how they try to edit out some things in the Bible, and some Bible translation, it would say that the Lord created humankind in his image. You only can be one gender. You only can be one gender. All right. But in reality, God created man. God created man, which is Adam. He created Adam in his image. So Adam was a reflection of what God is supposed to be on earth. And that is playing a man role. The reason why this is important because all you see online is a lot of women, you know, speaking about how the Lord talks to them, which is foolishness because God is not somebody that talks in your head. He's not somebody that talks in your head. The Lord doesn't put his spirit on woman. In the beginning, when God created the heaven and the earth, right? And he created Adam, what did the Lord do? He put his spirit, his breath of life into Adam, not Eve. Eve came from the rib of Adam. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Just like when Moses was getting, you know, up there in age, he put his spirit amongst the other people, amongst the men, to prophesy. Now there are a few instances, right, where you had women who prophesied things, but not to the degree as men. All throughout the Bible, it is men that is doing the work of God. Even when it comes to praising the Lord, right, with the priest and all that, when it comes to the congregation, you had men. You had men doing it, not women. See, in today's society, they have women preaching the word of the Lord, which is not really the word of the Lord, who is the God of Israel. They're preaching a false idol called Christ. You know, they let anybody into church, you know, LGBT, people from different backgrounds and stuff like that. These are things that the Lord forbids that you do because he's all about keeping everything holy and pure. Holy and pure. So you have a lot of women online, you know, preaching the word, especially in these Hebrew Israelite camps, and I just can't help but laugh at them because the Bible is not actually meant for you. And it's not funny, but it's funny because when you actually sit down and read, which many of you don't do, you will understand this. This is why in the Old Testament, especially, the Lord uses certain words like forefathers, your forefathers, which means he's speaking about the men that came before you. Another example, right? If we go to the Old Testament, you won't really find any books where there are women talking. Esther is one example. But when you go to the book of Esther, like I said before, God isn't speaking in her book. God himself is not speaking to her in the book of Esther. Is this all making sense to y'all? Even when it comes to the whole Sabbath thing, right? Even when it comes to Sabbath, like I said before, there are many women that are a part of these Hebrew Israelite camps, who believe in Sabbath and stuff, right? However, if you actually read, the Lord said that men, and they actually kind of took this out in certain Bibles, he said men were supposed to stay inside. Men, right? His, he's speaking to men. So men were supposed to stay inside on Sabbath. And no one, of course, is to buy or sell on the Lord's day. As you can see, let every man, almost every Bible translation has men. But this is not what these Hebrew Israelites teach their women. And again, I got to keep saying that people will come on my page and say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm showing them things that other people are not showing them. This is another reason why women are so caught up in uh, witchcraft, sorcery and stuff, because in ancient days, a lot of women knew that the Lord wasn't necessarily talking to them. So they have to come up with their own belief system. This also ties into the serpent in the garden, trying to convince Eve that you can be your own God. This is why a lot of women today, especially black women, believe in their mind that they are a god or a goddess, and man is supposed to bow down and serve them, and all life comes from women and stuff. Not all of them, but the good majority of them believe in this stuff. They believe that Mother Nature is their God, or the universe is their God. This is what they believe, y'all. I'm not making this up. The entire Bible, especially Hebrew Bible, is God teaching man how to be man. God teaching man about war. We learned this in Exodus. We learned this in the book of Joshua, where the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, and the Lord was telling them, you know, I gotta train them to get ready for war against the Canaanites. It's stories in the Bible where God is teaching man how to build houses and stuff. Women don't build. Women don't build. So why would the Lord be talking to women? When it comes to women in the Bible, you might see things about how a woman is supposed to carry herself and how the Lord hates whorish women. He refers to them as prostitutes, and things of that nature. But overall, the Bible itself is actually for men, not women. You see, the man is the one who leads and the woman follows. But everything down here on earth is so twisted now. This is why when you go to church, you see more women, in church praising the so-called this fake God called Christ or Jesus that they bow down to instead of man, which is wicked behavior. This is why today in the church, you see a lot of black women always talking about they can't find a man. They can't find a man, or there are no good men out there. Because in the Bible, the Lord says it is the man who searches for the woman, searches for his wife. So why would the Lord find you a man? Does this make sense to you that's listening? Why would the Lord find you a man? It is the man that go and search for his wife. This is why a lot of women today are single, because the church brainwashed them into having that mentality. This is why I don't really, it may seem like it, but this is why I don't really focus on women as much when it comes to the Bible, because I know the Bible is not really for them. It's really for, quote, black man, the Negro man, the house of Judah, the people of Jerusalem. It's for the people of Judah, the men of Judah. That's who the Bible is really for, the men of Judah. The men of Judah. Israel descendants. I feel like I had to make this video because I just get so tired of seeing the nonsense from women coming on my page or on other social media platforms, typing in the comments, trying to act all smart because they sit around all day listening to these silly ass niggas online telling them a bunch of lies just so they can make money off of y'all, because that's all that is when it comes to the church. It's nothing more than these ministries, ministers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, is nothing more than them trying to make $1 off of you, woman. That's all it is. And they feed your head up with lies. Just like I saw this advertisement a while back. It's this Christian church. Y'all might seen the Super Bowl ad called He Gets Us. And pretty much it's talking about during a time when they were viewed as lesser than, Jesus invited women to follow him alongside man and to play a crucial role in his ministry. He gets us, all of us. Then it say Jesus champion women. And the reason why this advertisement is the way that it is because these biblical scholars, these churches, they understand that the Bible was really written for men. It's written for men. This is why they have this ad. So they can brainwash women to keep coming to church so you can spend your hard-earned money. And when you try to wake a woman up to these things, they look at you like you're crazy because they so caught up in a lie. They so caught up in a lie that it's hard for them to swallow reality for what it is. Church is nothing but a scam to make money off of you, woman. And these pastors know this. They know this. Like I said, when you really in the truth, right, it's no need for you to keep going to church. That's all I got to say. I'm out.